This is my iconic Audi RS5. And this is my iconic Audi big turbo A5. And today we're gonna see which one is better. Tuned, it just has more power, right? And when I say more power, it's because the super iconic Audi RS5. This video is going to be about the iconic RS5. But I think about it after owning the vehicle for 3 months. In addition, a slight comparison to my Audi A5 big turbo. Which one do I like better? The pros, the wins, and the cons. Let's get this video going, guys. What's going on YouTube? Is Bruce with Bruce Custom Motors bringing you guys another official video. As you guys can see from the title of this video, it's going to be my take and what I really feel about the Audi RS5 versus a big turbo tuned Audi A5. And for those of you that's following me, you guys know that I did big turbo on this vehicle, and I'm currently working on a wide body kit for the car. Lots of fun so far. There's the wing, working on a wide body kit. And that's just an FYI on this build. If you guys want to follow this build, if you want to see how I got the big turbo in, if you want to see some runs, if you want to see the body kit, whatever factor you want to look at, like, share, and subscribe. I got tons of video on how I even built it up from a K3 to a K04 to a big turbo. Okay guys, so just kind of talking about my RS5. Let's first take a look at it. I know I haven't been putting much of it on the channel. I just want to go ahead and just kind of take a look at it first. It's not your regular RS5. As you guys can see, I've already done tons of custom stuff to it. And for those of you that don't know, I got this Audi RS5 in the actual auction. There was a lot of damage to it, and I actually fixed it, so I got it for a steal. But as you guys can see, and I will do a video on before and after, and I'm still working on it. But as you can see, I put a carbon fiber bumper lip. I changed the accents to yellow versus the traditional red. I actually painted the brake calipers yellow myself. I added those Audi RS6, RS7 wheels. They are replicas. I do have a video on that. I got a video on the brake calipers. So whatever you want to know, I got a video on, but let's just take a look at it. So I did do a video on me blacking out the trim. I felt like it looked more aggressive with blacking out the trim. And pretty much that's gonna be the gist of what I've done. As you can see on the back, I put some black Audi rings versus the traditional chrome one. And I also went ahead, as you can see, and painted the logo black and made that yellow emblem. I'm thinking that's really the most I'm gonna do to it. I want this one to be kind of sleek, not too aggressive, but just kind of giving a bold statement, right? So that's the biggest piece on the exterior. And I did do a video on the rear bumper as well. I had to repair the rear bumper, so I did a video on that as well. So that's going to be the gist of the body. As you can see, it's looking pretty pristine. Also, when we come inside, I actually put in this steering wheel right here. Oh, don't mind my legs, guys, don't mind my legs. So I actually put this steering wheel in. As you guys can see, this is going to be a carbon fiber RS5 steering wheel. Didn't go aggressive with the traditional paddle shifters that most people get. I went ahead and put this stripe on here. I just thought it looked really cool. It matches the car's a Suzuki gray, right? So that's pretty much all I did to the inside of the vehicle versus just some few things that I fixed. I did put these buttons right here that traditionally didn't come all chrome on the car. And yeah, that's gonna be the gist of just overall the RS5, right? It's an iconic car. It's an iconic platform. So I'm sure everyone knows about it. I guess the biggest piece is gonna be me, especially owning several cars, including a big turbo Audi A5, a Volkswagen Atlas, VR6, let's go. And including I'm having partnership with a lot of people who own vehicles as well, just really being well versed and knowledgeable about Audi. My take on what I think about the RS5. Guys, let me show you the engine really fast. I know a lot of people don't see that too often. All right, guys, when it comes to the engine of the Audi RS5, you guys know it's the 4.2 naturally aspirated V8. It's not like the V8 in the S5. It's more of like the V10 version of the Audi R8 V10 Plus Premium with 2 cylinders that are topped off. They're known for having PCV issues. Went ahead and got this right here from JHM to make sure I don't have a problem with that. And I don't have the case on here, or rather the engine cover, because I can't fit it with those two unless I shave it off. But I think this looks cool. It gives it a different look. So guys, so what do I think, right? So first and foremost, you can't experience a car like this one, right? Let's talk about the Audi RS5. All right, what's the best way for me to be efficient in speaking about the Audi RS5, right? And how it compares to my A5 big turbo Audi. So first and foremost, when you think Audi RS5, it's just a vehicle that can't be replaced. I've had the luxury to drive an Audi R8. I've had the luxury to drive Audi R8 V10. I've had the luxury to drive a RS7, RS6, RS7. I think pretty much every Audi that's out there, including the e-tron. And I feel like the Audi RS5 kind of sits in a realm of its own. It's nothing that's compared to it. It's like it grabs features from each platform, from the B6 all the way up to the B9, and from the supercar aspect. The revving is insane, and I'm currently tuned by JHM, so I'm revving at about 8,600 RPMs. My 0 to 60 is around 3.3-ish and 4-ish. And that's with the launch control, because you're able to launch at 6,000 RPMs. So that's how you're able to reach that goal. With the right tune, this car is a beast, right? When I tell you that high RPMs, it's a monster. I mean, I've been in situations where there's another high performance car beside me, need to be a Hellcat, a supercar, and it's a battle. I'm not being smoked, you know. And there's been opportunities at the same time to where I was even able to get the upper hand. So definitely it's a car that can fit into every category, from top end power all the way down to mid-range power. So really, really excellent car. I mean, and the sound alone is just a dream. I mean, you cannot replace the sound of an Audi RS5. I would definitely say it's somewhat of one of the best sounding V8s that's currently out there right now. And it's something that if you can get a hold of it, I think you should have it in your arsenal of what cars you can actually purchase. It's somewhat affordable depending on the miles, but it's an iconic car. And as you guys know, Audi is actually turning their 2025 models they're turning the A4s into A5s because the even numbers are going to the electric cars. So we're going to lose that two-door coupe. So I definitely would say get it. And now when I say Audi RS5, I'm definitely speaking of the B8.5 platform, right? I'm not speaking of the newer B9s, right? So just to kind of throw that out there, right? So power been super consistent, right? I noticed that I don't have as much low end torque as I do on my Audi A5, and that's even without the big turbo, right? The power band on this vehicle, it's kind of just pulls, right? The best way for me to explain it, once you're accelerating, that torque is not going to be instant. It's more of like maybe a 1 second push. It's maybe a 1 second push, and after that 1 second push, then the torque just kind of kicks in. So you're not going to get that instant torque. The torque is there, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to feel like it does with a turbo to where you have it instantly. You know, the best way to, for example, if I'm doing a roll with someone, I would probably have the upper hand in this vehicle, whereas in the turbo vehicle, you can get it instantly. As you guys have followed me, you know about my Tesla Model 3 performance. That's really where it boils down to instant torque. Now, this compared to my A5 big turbo, my A5 big turbo, and I'm gonna say it, guys, has more power than the Audi RS5. It's a big turbo, custom manifold, water methanol, tuned. It just has more power, right? And when I say more power, it's because it's a big turbo, right? So right now, I'm looking at about, I would say, a little under 600, currently ranging between like 575 and like maybe about 598, and that's not wheel horsepower. That's going to be from the crank, right? But the advantage that I have with the turbo is that I have more torque. So in hindsight, I would say that my Audi A5 feels faster because of the torque. It is faster, but not extraordinarily faster to where if I was in this Audi RS5, I couldn't keep up with the Audi, right? It just feels faster. I would say that the benefits of having the big turbo A5 is that you just feel like a monster and you just feel quick. I can compare it almost to like my Tesla Model 3, to where you just feel really quick because you just have that instant torque, right? However, as we all know who have, you know, larger engines, that it's just how you feel in the cockpit, right? It's like your dyno monitor with yourself. Whereas if you are dealing with a V8 or you know, even a V10 or a V12, it doesn't feel as quick, but you are moving a lot faster, right? So with that being said, I would definitely say when it comes to the Audi RS5, right, the benefits is that it sounds amazing, right? As you guys know, my big turbo A5 actually has a really good engine sound. You know, I have the custom exhaust manifold. I have the custom intake manifold. I'm pretty much straight pipe from the turbo, so it sounds like a beast. It screams, but it just doesn't have that deep sound that the Audi RS5 has. I can't make that sound. My A5 does sound aggressive, but when I'm in the RS5 and the engine roars, you can just be heard. You just turn heads, and it has this amazing, it matches the RPMs on the low end, and it has this nice little growling sound that goes roof, roof, almost like a bark. And I mean, one day I was driving and the cop thought I was revving my engine, and I was like, oh no, I hope he doesn't pull me over. but it was really just the design of the vehicle, right? So yeah, there's benefits to both. It's almost two different worlds, right? It's almost like I just have a different driving experience when I'm getting in both, right? I can definitely say I love owning an Audi RS5. I really feel like it's just an iconic car that I just have to have in my arsenal. I also feel like my Audi A5 in somewhat sense is iconic with the 2.0 turbo, and it's just so much you can do to it, right? I feel like in the Audi RS5, unless you're spending like about $15,000+, you have restrictions on what you can do for a naturally aspirated car. Whereas in my Audi A5, I can tune it. I can take it to what level I want to take it to without having to spend too much money. And why I say that, even if I wanted to turbo the RS5 or do something to it, is a limited space in the engine. So it would take a serious modifications to do that, whereas the 2.0 has tons of space in the engine. And I think that's where I would say the Audi A5 kind of wins. It wins from an aspect of, in my opinion, being able to have limitless options that I can do to the vehicle, and being able to reach extraordinary horsepowers on a budget, right? Whereas the RS5, you got to be super rich to modify it, and at that point you're going into the Audi R8 realm as far as financially, so you got to truly be committed to the platform, right? So yeah, that's pretty much my take on it, guys. Both of them are solid vehicles, and I love both of them, right? But I definitely would always be, from day one, that Audi A5 fan, from what I've done to the vehicle and the journey that I've taken with you guys, which is what got me to where I'm at today with the channel, right? But definitely, if you can get both, and they're both wins in my opinion. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you like videos like this, just like little drive around talk topic videos, let me know. And please leave a comment on what vehicle you like the best out of both platforms. Thank you guys so much. This is Bruce with Bruce Custom Motors. Peace. I am out.